Eid Mubarak, madam. Eid Mubarak, Fatima, madam. Eid Mubarak, Pathan. And good afternoon, everyone. Eid Mubarak to all. Today, we'll start with the basic ordering mechanism because we have seen a order type of data structure into the Python. What are those? They are list, they are tuple, they are strings also, list, tuples, strings. This we have seen. And now we will understand how to work with the index. What are the things which works with the index, right? And how you can work and what is the mechanisms of having the index. So that day we had introduced with some of the examples like having the begin with the 0 and ending with the n size. So let's go and understand that very efficient way. Today, I will make you explain those important concepts of the indexing. So let's understand we have a one string. What is the one string? Which is, I'll say that is called our string, which is hello world. Okay, this is the string. Okay, now you can see that I have written a hello world, which is starting from 0, that is the index 0, and HELLO, then there is a space WORLD. So this is a string. All right, now this string is also a member of the characters. So at the first member we can say that is the H. So it is been indexed with the 0. So now let's understand there are two type of indexes. One which is called forward and one which is called backward. The forward index is starting from 0 and ending up to the length of object. Okay, and this backward is starting with minus length of object 1. The length of object, right? This way it will work. So it's took up the Excel function, but no problem. That is, oh, let's have this. This is with the negative word. This is negative length number, and as you can see that here this will ends with the fixed value, that is -1. Remember this. Forward start from the 0 and this is
Asha sir,
yes.
please add the participant.
Oh, sorry. So anybody is left now to join? If they are, okay, I think Vaidehi Shah was about to join, so she had joined. No problem. Ruchik sir, anyone is left? No problem. So let's go
No sir,
back to
not
the,
yet. Yeah.
okay. So let's get back to this. There are two type of index, forward index, okay, and a backward index of the same string which we have written here as a hello world. Okay, so hello world will have a two index forward. This is start from 0. So let's go and understand what is this. This is start from 0 and up to the length of the object, right? Right, a length of the object -1. Here it ends. Remember this. This is the formula. And here, it happens? Here it will be a negative minus a length of the objects. That is the first. Okay, you can accept that. So remember this. This will be a -1. So minus length of the object. Yeah, I cannot enter, the name is that entered, it is not valid. So we can say that length completely we call it. So here, as per the Excel sheet, it is you cannot use. So that's not a valid name. So I use a square bracket, round bracket. That will be also making a trouble. But just for an understanding, you can use this. Or I can use here also, put it in a double quote. So that will accept it. So that is why it becomes a string and text here also. So you understand that is the forward, backward, and start from this. So this is the way it works. I'll make someone join also there.
Meanwhile, what I'll tell you is what Sir has explained. It is actually in backward index. It is in reverse order. So actually, -1 is the starting index, and minus length of the object is it is ending object, right? So it's in reverse order for backward indexing.
So sir, this is the -1 is of the last number. So
Last
end means
number, last digit, last digit,
the last
last character,
object. We can say that
last
last
character.
object. In a case of
Yeah.
it is a string, so character, but in a general case, it is a last object. Okay, you
Yes.
can remember this way. It becomes a last object, and this is you can say that it is a first object. Here. So this is start at 0, end at -1. This is start as a length of the object, entire object. And you can say that it's a, this is the first part. Or you can say that first part, and that is the last part. Right? You can say this also. In case of string, it is character. In case of string, it is character. All right? So here the negative length and -1. So you can say that also it is a positive one and it's a negative one. So everyone people are also knowing is this is a positive and this is a negative. Okay, so this is a backward is also known as a negative one. Now I'll explain how. Let us see that this is the word. What is the length of this? Let's see. Length is, it is 11. Okay, so what is this? This hello world, if I represent this in a forward index, right, I'll say that it is forward. What happened? It starts from 0 and represented by the last index is length of object -1. So that is called, it is 11. What happened? This will be this, that is called our length of object. You can say the length of object and -1. So this way it will does an indexing. And here what we do, we will have a negation of this. So we will say length of object and put it here. So it becomes our backward will be like this and ends it at -1. So hope you understand. For this hello world, the example is this is length. Okay, this is length. Okay, and these lengths are being saved and written as a red. So let someone admit there also. So this is length and this is the indexing. Index start. So length is, let me just put it over here and say this is a start. Right, first part, and this is the last part. So here I'll say this is the end, that is the last part. You can see that for hello world, what happened, you have seen that it is how it is computed also. Okay, I hope I made you very clear regarding this is a positive and negative. Lesson understand with the very much detail. So this is I am marking with the each and every character, and in the case of list and in the case of tuple, here they are the member object, which is called as a member object. So I'll write here part, not part, I'll say and call it as a member object. Right here all our character is a member. So we call it as a last member object. Okay. So this will be replaced here. Now don't say part, it is a member. All right. So now let's see this forward is 0, like this is 0, first, very first character, first member made a 0 over here. Length is -11. Now I have typing over here, hello, A, L, L, O, space, W, O, R, L, B. Okay, so it's nothing else. What we have done, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is exactly length -1. And now you can see that in a backward, it has started from -11, -10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, -1. So this way it is the indexing is working. Now you will be having we have done with the indexing. Now I will again pause and
Harsal sir.
yeah,
Sir, good afternoon. Devangini here. Sir, I have a question.
yeah.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting you because my 15 minute late bhi aayi hu, but I didn't get what is the purpose of this that forward and backward first of all.
Right.
And yeah, so that I want to know. I didn't get it.
It's okay. I am coming to that point. What is the use of that? Right. The use of those things are when you're working with some long list, right?
Okay.
And you just assume here I am explaining that the members are the characters of the string, and they are the members. So each individual character is a member of a string, and they are arranged in the order. Correct?
Okay.
So,
Yes, correct.
and that's why we will have a word hello world, right? If they are not in a order, so we will not be able to recall that as a word. It would be a couple of characters, right? Now,
Right.
now the point is here, I want to do a certain operations, like what many things are there with me, and there are long paragraphs are there. When we work with the data science, when we work with the artificial intelligence, what we are looking for from the conversation. For an example, I can tell you that if I record the call center conversation between customer and customer care executive, and I want to judge based on the data analytics. What I want to look for that. I want to look for not hi, hello, and I want to have a jump from something. I want to have a pieces of those information and words, slices. And
Okay.
if we have an index, we can do a slice easily. Even we can directly access a particular location also. What is the fifth word someone said? Like, okay, what is the seventh word someone said? It is the number of strings or any objects are. And in this case, if I want to check that, I want to start the index from these locations. And for an example, if in hello world, I want to extract the characters which are all set at the subsequent positions. Like I will go again and explain you with the sheet. Very, very important concept, and I request everyone, if you are not convinced, not getting understood, please feel free to ask, because this is very, very important condition for the data analytics and the artificial intelligence solutions. So, madam, you can look at here. I have a one word hello world, right? Okay, and you are interested in what? You are interested in subsequent characters. What is subsequent characters are? You are interested in first character, then you are interested in third character, you are interested in fifth character, right? You want to check it out at the all characters at the odd positions, all characters at the even position, or would you want to check it out like hello or some substitute whether it is there or not, or you want to expect only those data, slice data. Now do a slice operation. Okay. Now I am doing the
Okay.
slice operation, and I'll explain you here that my string is what? A hello world. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to have a particular 2 and 7. What will be result over here? What will be result over here if I fire this a command?
I think we want the particular character which is having a position 2
Okay.
or 2
So
and
now,
7.
now look at here. This is the index 0 forward number. This is all positive numbers here. So we will consider this is forward index. Okay. So 0, 1, 2. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now 7 comes, and when I have a 7, it will access up to 7 as we have done in a form of range, right? So this data will be received from a slice. So it will at a 2, it will start before 7. So at 7 it will end. So this yellow marked data will be printed. Look at this yellow marked data, LL space 7. Got it? This is called slicing.
Yes.
And for
Okay.
do
Correct. Got it.
slicing, for do slicing, we need to understand index, because I can get the similar result like this also. Now how? Let's see this. How? Here we have a negative index also. -9, -5, -4. So I will write -9 to -4.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what a negative index is. This is one the example of the positive one. This is what the example of negative one. The way we access the members, and in here case, the number of character, because we are working on a string. I hope,
Okay,
madam.
sir. Yeah, it's correct, but means the instruction is given to us, or we can use forward or backward, anyone.
That is up to our logic. That is up
Okay.
to our logic. Now I will explain how to slice. But first of all, indexing is very clear to everyone. Like this also, this is called also a part of index. Like if I am going ahead with like 2, you can see that. This is I am just firing a one particular position, not a continuous sequence. So it is a single index. It is giving me a 2. Okay. I can get it the last number. Last number like
Just a
this.
second.
Yes, okay.
Devakini madam, I'll come to your point that when we'll use this negative index. Say for example, we are discussing about a cumulative sum. So say for example, I'm working on a problem like a coin toss, right? When head is there, I'm going to add 1 to it in the list, and when tail is there, I'm going to add 1, right? So what will happen when I'm doing cumulative sum? My final result will be stored at last index. When we are doing cumulative sum, final result is stored at last index, right? So
Yes.
when we want to fetch that last index, we will use negative index, -1. That is one example of it. In certain
Okay.
cases, say for example, we are creating a program called as email count program, right? And what we are doing with email count program, we are sorting counts of domain name along with the number of times the counts has occurred, right? And we want to sort it, and then we want to find that which one is the highest occurring email, right? So it might happen that once we sort it, the highest occurring email is sorted at the last position, right? So we don't want to iterate through whole loop, whole list, whole collection, right?
Yes, yes. Ritik sir,
So in that case,
yes,
we'll use -1.
absolutely correct. Within one last, just in a simple way, let me make you that when you have n number of items in the list, or n number of data in a particular this kind of a data structure like tuple, list, and then you want to directly jump to the last character or last member, then the backward is very useful. At that time, a backward is very useful. And you want to have something from the front, the forward index is very useful. So let's
Okay.
understand, right? This is the normal philosophy of accessing. Whenever this example will come, you will be able to know more that how the indexings are helping us to truncate start and access the data. So now first here when I index something, the very first is the start and second is end. End means up to, and there is also some third part. Third part is a number of steps which gets as a step as a next character. So I
Achha.
will also make it this also like star one, like 2, 7, and I will put it out as a 2.
Okay.
Now what will do? It will take the second character, then take the fourth one, and so on. So you can see that now the string is what? L, O, and space is also there, and you are receiving the one word low. Are you
Yeah.
getting this? So here the things are not exactly same as we have received as usual, but we can do a wonder of making some words which will be hidden. So as you know, when we use some cryptography and all these things, we can have some key formation also. Like even I can have a make an index of this, like or if I don't want, then I will not mention start and end, but I will mention this and see that how it comes. First H is come, then E is not there, then L is there, next L is not there. You can see it again so that you will be able to compare that. So how it index has worked. In this is
Okay.
slicing operations. So we have jumped to the second letters always. Next we have skip and then second one we have collected. Yes.
So, sir, I think so. Okay, in a real-time application, as we are Python is used in machine learning and in AI and in
Yes.
data
Yes.
science, etc., etc. So, I think like Google is the best example. That is the biggest search engine. So, in a search engine optimization, in a backward, wherever and whenever that automatically machine will whatever the word written or searched by the particular person and whatever the query is fired. So backend, I think this type of programming is there. So automatically from the database, that particular word or related things will be given to the user. Am I right?
You can say somewhat it is correct. It is basically depend on the application which we want, right? If we want
Okay.
to have some analyze, we want to make some patterns, if we want to identify some patterns, the operation will be automatically perform on the data. And if we find it out some data is having repeated patterns after certain occurrences, so these things will be very easy to operate. Like here, when there you need to write in a conventional programming language, you need to write lot many lines of code. And here you just with the one operations you can do it very easily.
Hmm.
There you need to write at least 10 lines of codes to execute this thing. And here you can have just one slicing operations you have used and you can find it out the necessary one very easily. So that
Yes.
is the advantage of this. This is called forward slicing, backward slicing. And now I will provide you an exercise for everyone who will need to answer me. Right? When I write this, what happened here? If I write this, what is the answer? You may type into chat box also. Something comes into the chat box? Yeah. So what is the answer? Someone said it is null. Yes, absolutely null because how it works, the -7 is start and 2 is end. So when we can see into the Excel sheet, this is the -7 which is start and 2 is here. So this won't work, correct? This won't work because between here when it is started, when it is started from here, after that there is no character, so it is always a slicing works in a one direction only. So understand, slicing works in one direction only. This is to be remembered, right? And this as it produced null, correct. Now I will do this. Uh, I will have -8 and I will have 8. Will it work? If it is work, then what is the answer? Chat box. I will see in the chat box. Now not null. Null will not come. It will come empty. In this case, it will not come null. Again, if I'm talking about this will not null. If you are talking for this, will it come null? I will not agree. In this case, lower, obviously right. And the way of writing, I will appreciate by Sushil and Jinal that yes, string should be right with a double quote. Yes, so I will show you the Excel sheet, and you can see that it will start from -8. So it will, here it is a new start. You can consider this is a new start, and this has started. It has to end before 8. So I will consider the answer is wrong, and this will come as LO space W. So those who have written answer is wrong, and you can see that because it ends at 7. So this is the low woe is coming up. So it's 8 here, so up to 7. So this is here ends exactly. So this is a start 1, I can say that. So this is our start 1 and this is our end 1. So we would have this as an answer. So this is a correct answer, Mr. Lowa. So TK, it is reminded me the Mr. Lowa. Okay. So this is what the indexing is. Remember that we can have starting from the positive nodes and ending at the positive. So this is can be done. We can have this way also. We can understand this indexings are valid. We can have positive, 2 positive. We can have positive, 2 negative. We can have negative, 2 positive. We'll have a negative, 2 negative. But one thing is to be remembered, it will only travel left to right. Right? This is to be remembered. Now I will have one more thing on a key shell, that if I write down str1 and I'll write down here something like a 9 and I'll write down 25. Will it work? My string does not length 25. Will it work? Will it work? In answer chat box, please. Will it work? It will work. Fine. But what would be the answer then? It will have a last 2 characters. Yes, as per the sheet, we had started with the 9. LD will come and the rest of the empty string up to the 25 will be considered and will not give us an error. So when we have any number which is not there, but it is the direction is left to right, it will work, and if does not, it will not. So obviously the LD will be the answer. So you can remember this when you want to have a slice. So this is the syntax. You can have first this start up to next. This is next, like you can say that a varying number, or you can say that here the skipping step, or you can say the step size. This would be the better. It is called step size. So start, we can have colon, we can have up to, right, and a closing one here. Here you have a closing one. So this way it will work. Now, this is optional. You can, if you required, it will be a mention. If that is, and it is basically optional also, and default, this is equal to 1. So if you don't mention anything, a step size will be considered as a 1. This, the numbers are here also optional. Remember that. This are, if you don't mention, this is also optional, this is also optional. Understand this. How I am saying this, I will show and demonstrate you. Right? It is also optional, but the default is here, the default is the 0, and the here default is last index length plus 1. So that has become, so it makes this, when you don't mention, it gives us a complete string. And you can see here, I can show you, I'm not mentioning any of that. So you can see here, hello world completely comes. If I don't mention a beginning, I can consider that I'm starting from this, and you can say this will print up to this. If I will say I want from this and I'm not mentioning end, it will go up to the last character of the string. So here I'm completing with the indexing and slicing. This is very, very important thing. All right. And now we will back to the new concepts. That is the very important in a form of this indexing and slicing. We are going to demonstrate this in a list and tuple. Okay, so similar way you can do this with the list and tuple. I will make it very clear while you want to work with the list and tuple. What you need to do, you can have a list, something that you can have assigned with the square bracket, and you do a tuple with the round bracket, and you can perform the same operations. Okay, to make it very good visible, I will reopen that so it will have a clarity. Okay, till this, any doubt in the slicing and indexing? I think any doubts, slicing and indexing? No doubts, no problem. Now I'll go ahead with my list one. I will have a make members. Hello, and this 9 plus 3j. Okay, and I'll do one thing. I'll make it very easy. My tuple one as what? I will make this tuple as a function. Remember this, and I'll pass it out the iterables here. Read it out. Iterable, and iterable is list is iterable, string is iterable. What? Right? So I can make it out this way. My list. So this will make my tuple also the same objects. Even remember, I can make it in a form of string also. So my str1, let me get it again. Hello world, and I can make this also. So let's just see the list 2 also. What I can do, list, and I pass it out again. It is again same. I would pass it out str1, and you can see that what is the list 2. See the way it has been already placed. So this will work exactly the making the list into the from the string, from the list. Even you can make it from tuple also. So that don't bother. You can have a list 3, and I again form this from the tuple. So you have the tuple 1, and you can pass it out, and this will again make a list 3. Okay, got it. This is the way you can have a conversion and like you can transform that. But someone wants that I want to make it as a string. Will it work? You want to see? Will it work like this? str I can file. See here, I will pass on the object. If I don't pass, it will make an empty string. So you can see that I will not pass anything. It will be an empty one. That is true. Now, if I can do anything more, if I can pass something, see, I can pass buffer, encoding, and all this for the all stream related process. I can do this. But if I pass on the list, right, one, and if I pass on this object, look at this, what happened. The same thing has been converted entirely in a form of string. Remember this, right? And even it can have a tuple also with the brackets also. This will be bracket also. So I'll just show you that. You can see here what is the first object is. The first object is a bracket. Remember this, huh? That's very useful. So here you can say that tuple 1, it will be also converted into the string, and there is you can see that entire this gets into this. Okay, hope you can understand this conversion also, right?
सर तो ये पूरा जो है, हाँ सर, ये आपने जो लिया ना, कहाँ पे गया अभी, स्क्रीन कहाँ पे गई?
हाँ, स्क्रीन में वापस करता हूँ आपको. Let's see, go back to my screen. Okay, go ahead.
हाँ सर, तो ये जो आपने लिया ना अभी, example is there in which 12 and 23.05 and hello and something 9 plus 3j. तो ये पूरा जो 4 इंडिविजुअल है, ये चारों के चारों ऐसे स्ट्रिंग कंसीडर होंगे, is it?
Where we are talking about, we are in a conversion. Is it? Are you talking here or here? आप कहाँ यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं?
Yes.
So this is a continuous string. A comma is also a part of member. This space is also member.
So
this space is also member. This single quote is also member. This single quote is also member. I want to just make that entire the list. This is considered converted into the string.
Okay, single string.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So there are lots of things which we are getting over here. String ends, you will get empty spaces. You are saying yes, there won't be any white spaces here. Yes, I think this sir has converted, that this text has also covered, right? Empty spaces are not counted in the result because it will be up to end of the strings, correctly said. And considering the empty spaces, if we want to, it will not be there because there is nothing is there in a string, so it will be there. Sushil, it will be there, okay, and there will be not covered. But when you use the index like 0 to end, then stop value is missing, so stop value is up to end of the string, correct. When you specify the index number more than number letter of available, it will be considered up to end of the string only. That's fine, covered. 0 to this is hello, like this one. Okay, fine. So there is no queries over here. Okay, can we move further? The new operations, that would be better. So we have gone through the conversion. Now I will again, we have conversion, we have done with the conversion. Now I will make you one more thing. You have two strings, right? str1, that is considering the hello world, right? If I do this, can I do a multiplication with the string? Can I do multiplication with the string? No. But here in Python it happens. Here in Python it happens in such a way, it is considering as a number of time to be repeated. Number of time to be repeated. Understand? This will be repeated. This will be repeated. You can see the hello world and result as a one string. This is result as a one string. So if I say, if I want to have string 4, right? And if I want to say that I have str1 into 2, what happened? My str4 will be repeated 2 times like hello world, and there is no space you can see here between D and a next hello world occurrence. So this way here it works. Even it works with the list also. Remember this, list 1, I'll say the 2 times. So you can see that list has been repeated, but as a one list, So you can even assign that into this. Even that you can do it with the tuple also. Done. Now I will do another operation, str1. And if I do str1 and I will do another string, that is str2. Will it be done here? What is str2? str2 is a translate, means it is a converted list in a form of string. Will it work? Can we add 2 strings? Yes, in a case of Python you can add it, no problem. And see the result. The result is hello world, and this is called also that here you are appending. This is the classical example of that string concatenation. Or you can consider as a string joining also. You can say that you are joining a string. So this is the easiest way of joining the string, right? Joining. You can even this works with the list 1, and you can do with the list 2 also. Here do we have list 2? No, I don't have. If I have, I will write down this way also, right? And you can see that these 2 lists have been appended in each other, and I had a new list. Can I do with the tuple 1 plus something this? And now I expect the answers from everyone. Can we do with the tuple? Can we have the tuple? Yes, we can do this. So remember, these operations work with everyone. This operation works with everyone very fantastically. We have done plus, star, and conversion. These are the standard functions which happens with the list, tuples, and that. Now tuple is what? It's a read only. So you cannot do any changes. So you cannot do read only. That means once created, this is once created, you cannot do any changes. That means you cannot later on add, update, or delete a member. I'm talking about member. Okay. And with the list is updatable. This is updatable. Remember this, right? And when we start with this, I will make you to note these things in your mind. Tuple is read only, list is updatable, and obviously string is also this way only, right? You cannot modify based on this. Yes, you can do and create a new, and that way you can update the string. Same way with the tuple also. So string tuple with read only, list is updatable, so you can add, update, and delete also, and delete. Okay, hope this is clear. The read only, updatable. Now you can have next thing which is called mutability. म्यूटेबिलिटी का मतलब है जुड़वा. ओके, देखा है ना सबने जुड़वा 1 एंड जुड़वा 2, राम और श्याम, गीता और सीता और गीता.
यस सर,
देखा है?
यस सर.
तो जुड़वा में क्या होता है? किसको थप्पड़ लगता है, दर्द किसको होता है? दोनों को होता है ना.
हाँ, दोनों पर अफेक्ट होता है साइमल्टेनियसली.
बस, तो यहाँ पे म्यूटेबिलिटी भी यही कॉन्सेप्ट है. मैं आपको डेमोस्ट्रेट करके बताता हूँ. ठीक है, कैसे होता है जुड़वा का जन्म, कैसे होता है, साथ में होता है. तो मैं यहाँ जुड़वा ही लिखता हूँ. ठीक है, जुड़वा नंबर 1 एंड जुड़वा 2 दोनों साथ में पैदा होते हैं. यही है ना, कुदरत में यही चीज होती है, यहाँ पे भी ऐसा ही होगा। मैं इसको आप बोलो तो लिस्ट बना देता हूँ, ठीक है ना। तो लिस्ट ये म्यूटेबल डेटा है। तो हमने लिस्ट में आपका फेवरेट नंबर कौन सा है, 99, फिर कोई भी मतलब ले सकते हैं, 36, 25। आप सबको ईद मुबारक, ठीक है। और ये है हमारा जुड़वा 1 और 2, दोनों एक जैसे। आपको बता देते हैं, देखिए जुड़वा 1, जुड़वा में मैंने ए नहीं डाला है तो सॉरी, ठीक है। एंड जुड़वा में ये है स्पेलिंग जुड़वा का 2। अब देखिए जो क्या हो रहा है, मैं दिखा रहा हूं। अब मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, दोनों में एक जैसी चीज है। जुड़वा 1 में से मैं एक को निकाल के बाहर कर रहा हूं, ध्यान रखिएगा। यहाँ पे मैं यहाँ से एक चीजों को निकाल रहा हूँ। कैसे कर रहा हूँ, मैं रिमूव कर रहा हूँ किसी को, ठीक है। रिमूव कर दिया, मैं रिमूव कर रहा हूँ जुड़वा 1 में से। समथिंग इज नॉट बीन रिमूव बिकॉज मुझे कुछ देना था ना, किसको रिमूव करना था, तो मैं रिमूव नहीं कर पाया। जुड़वा 1 बहुत जल्दी थी सर, एंटर कर दिया मैंने,
हर्षल
ठीक
सर
है।
पॉप कर दीजिए, पॉप कर
हाँ
दीजिए
हाँ,
रिमूव कीजिए।
पॉप कर देता हूँ। रिमूव में इंडेक्स देना पड़ेगा ना मुझे, इसलिए आई विल जस्ट डू अ डिफॉल्ट पॉप। ओके, सो मैंने आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं पास की थी, बट सी आई हैड रिमूव द ईद मुबारक 1। तो अब देखिए जुड़वा 1 में से निकल चुका है, बट you can see that here 2, you can see that जुड़वा 2 exactly same impacted। अब वापस हम ऐड करते हैं इसके थ्रू, क्या है, we can have an append, we use an append function and we again make it out। नहीं यार, इसको कैसे कर सकते हैं, निकाल नहीं सकते भाई, चलो ले आते हैं, ठीक है। हमने इसको ऐड कर देते हैं इसके अंदर, तो इसके अंदर ये ऐड हो गया, it has been added, you can see it has been added। oh it will be updated to here। this is called mutability, and this you will not find anywhere in any other programming language। this is actually doing what, this is making one place which is common at data store, that creates two indexes, you can say that names। this refers to same location where data is stored, correct। so when you are working with this, if you have created your own index, your own name, but they have been created together, so once it is updated at one end, directly it will be reflected in the other data also। so this is very fantastic data type, and you can imagine it is very useful। so mutability is also applicable to the other data structures also, but for the list you remember here, okay। so I'm again pausing the session and opening the comments. Any questions, comments, you can take it up।
Okay, before we go for the question answer, I'd like to add something into the beauty. So I hope you might have seen that movie X-Men series, right? Wolverine series you have might seen, right? So what is mutability? They are mutants. So what are the mutants? They have the ability to change themselves. They can adapt to the situation, right? If you remember the Darwin's law of evolution, it is that the survival of fittest rule, right? So to survive, we have to change the structure of the human beings, right? And we have real life mutants in over the earth also, right? If you think about Usain Bolt, say for example, why he's mutant. So he has adapted that when he's running, Usain Bolt is running, when you draw a line, it will be always a straight line, right? Or if you can think about Michael Phelps, right? He's a swimmer from America, and if you see his body structure, it's like fish, long arms and long legs, so he can swim faster. So they are real life mutants, and what are their advantage? What are their characteristics? They have changed themselves, right? So that's why we call it them as mutable or mutants. right? Similar to that, COVID-19 is also a mutant, right? It has evolved from the SARS, right? And it is mutant because it has changed its structure. So same way in Python, when we talk about mutable data structure, they have the ability to change themselves, right? So we can run, at the runtime, we can change the values of those data structures.
Ritwik sir,
And
let's
that's why they
provide them a practical example of a data analysis also, where it is being used also in artificial intelligence, in neural network. If you can focus on that example, so that would be also nice to understand our audience.
say for example, I'm talking about mutable data structure, and let us talk about one of the structure, that is dictionary, right? Which is again a mutable data structure. Let us talk about list, right? So I'm talking about collection of heights of all the students in my class, right? And I'm talking first year students also, right? Now, as we know in our college, right, admission happen around the year, and say for example, I am making that collection and I want to add few students into it, right? So I want to add 10 more students along with their heights. How I can do that? Once I've created data structure in all the languages like C or C++, it is very difficult to add new data into it, add new elements into it, right? So this is how mutability comes. If I want to add, 10 more students in this data structure called as list, I can do that, right? So that will help you in data science also. It will allow you to add some values at runtime. Say for example, if I have Python pandas data frame, there is a library called as panda, and a very famous structure in data science is data frame, right? And data frame is nothing but it is a kind of a tabular representation of data, right? To row and columns representation of your data. Now, if I want to add some new columns into it, if I want to say, for example, I have enrollment number, marks, and later on I want to add attendance into it, Python allows this mutability concept, and because of mutability, you can add attendance column also, right? So this is how it will help you in data science and machine learning stuff also.
So let's ahead said, I will explain that list of student admissions. Now agent one did few students, like let's say he had done 3 today, and agent 2 would have done 5, and everyone have the list, and they update their members into the list. What happened, and n is also doing so, up to you have an agent, but at the end you are receiving the common, you are receiving the common list of admissions. So this will be there is no problem of aggregations. There is no problem of aggregation, and you need not to worry about who had done what. That also can be recorded by an actions. So that is a very powerful, that you can have a easy aggregation using this data type. So that's all here. Let's begin with the Ritwik sir. Ritwik sir will take more into the data structures of the list, all operations of the string, list, and tuple. Okay, in very brief, as per time permits. So
Okay,
Ritwik
sir.
sir, will you hand over now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll answer one of the query by Fatima madam. Uh, Madam, you have asked whether it is like a string buffer. To be very specific, in Python, string is immutable data type. So I'll show you one example how string is immutable. And once I'm not very much familiar with the Java concepts, right? But if you can change data into it, right, it is mutable, very simple, right? And I'll show you the example with example also.
In
What is
buffer, I will interrupt here, madam. Your
Yeah.
question. It's about the string buffer. In buffer, what happen? It keeps on adding, but you cannot have multiple index. That is the separate variable. See, if I delete here one thing, it will not delete it again. Remember that. The another will be keep on pointing to that data store. So if I delete one thing, it will not delete both the automatically. It is just happen that if I delete the object, the another object will not be deleted. Like an entire, I have created a one list 1 and list 2, that is Judwa 1 and Judwa 2. If I delete the Judwa 2, right, but the deleted Judwa 2 will not make impact to the Judwa 1. This is the way we have a multiple end pointers where we can even protect also. But in a Java, you cannot protect those things, and you cannot even create. You have to create a copy of those. Okay, that's all from Ritwik sir. Hand over.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen now. Okay, so let us work on this. Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's coming, sir. It is come. So your shell is visible. So please carry on.
Shell is, yeah, we'll be working with shell only today. So
Okay,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
going into the more complicated programs related to string. Just I want to tell you that what are the functions available and what kind of operations you can perform with the string. So let me start with very basic string, that is empty string str1. And I want to know that what is this particular string, right? So if I say print into the bracket str1, right, it is going to print me nothing. Why? Because it is empty string. But I want to check that which type it is. I can do that, right? So I can say type into the bracket str1. So it says it is class str. Understand that. Now, once it says class str, there is a specific meaning of it, right? This str1 is object of this class string, right? Once it is object, you might be aware about object oriented paradigm, or if it is not clear to you, that is not a big issue, right? We will understand it what is that later on in the last few lectures, right? But understand this, when it is object have certain behaviors, and we define those behavior with methods. To be very specific with methods, those who are new to Python or programming stuff, methods are nothing but functions, right? So there are predefined instruction given for that particular object, and they will perform task for us, right? So we want to know that how many functions or how many methods are available for this type of object. So I'll say dir. Dir is again inbuilt function like type, print, and input, right? Which will give you that how many methods are applicable to particular object. So I'll say dir into the bracket str1, right? So when I press enter, I'll not focus on this underscore underscore part right now because it deals with inbuilt methods related to class. So I'm not focused about this methods right now. I'll start with this particular stuff. Can you see this? Capitalize, right? So these are the methods available on string object. Now there are many more, right? Capitalize, case fold, center, count, encode. There are lots and lots of method available on string object, right? Because of time restriction, we cannot cover all, right? But I'll tell you few important methods which are useful in learning, in text processing, even in natural language processing, right? How strings can be processed, right? And how we can work with it, right? So we'll be going through few of the examples, right? How we can do that. And then let us understand that how we can iterate through the string also with loops, right? So that is our final goal. Okay, so let me start with the very few basic methods. Okay, say for example, this is my string str1. Now I'm changing the value of it, hello, right? And I want to count the number of occurrence of particular letter, right? So to count the occurrence, there is a method called as count, very simple, right? There is a method called as count. Now understand is what this count will do. So say for example, I'm saying L. How many times L is occurring in the string? Very simple, it is occurring 2 times, right? So it is going to give me 2. That's all. So are you getting it? It's very simple. How do you call it? So the object name is nothing but str1, and dot count. Dot count is a predefined function for string objects, right? And it one argument, and that argument is L, and it gives you the occurrence of that particular string, right? Or you can find out occurrence of a substring also. You can call it like this: str1.count into the bracket. Let me say lo, right? So lo is occurring only one time, right? So you can call it like this also, right? And it is occurring one time. So this is lo occurring one time. So you can find occurrence of any substring. Let me take another string, call it as VANANA, right? It's just banana, and I can say str2 dot count. Now you have to tell me the answer for this in the chat box. What will be the occurrence of this particular substring?
What will be the answer for this particular substring?
2.
2, obviously, right? N is occurring 2 times, so answer will be 2. Very simple thing, right? Or you can call it like this: str2 dot count. Now, what about this? What will be the occurrence of this substring?
2.
Again 2, right? Here we are starting from this point, an, and then an. Last a we are not going to consider, right? We are looking for a and together, right? So again answer will be 2, right? So this is how you can work with count method, and it is very useful method to get the occurrence of a particular character or particular substring in a string. Now I'm talking about a small string. The string can be again containing 1,000 words or 10,000 words, right? Say for example, you are reading a text file, right? And text file contains 10,000 words, and you are storing it in this string variable, right? And then you can run this count method. Python will do it easily, right? There is no restriction on how many characters should be there, how many words should be there, right? It works on any number of words, any number of letters, right? And it will do it with ease, so you don't have to worry about anything, right? But say for example, I want to do that in Python. I want to find the occurrence of a particular letter, right? How I can do that? So I will show you one program. So let me call it as str1 is equal to hello. Right? Take the one input character 1 is equal to input. Enter the character to be searched, right? And then you can iterate through it. Harshal sir has already explained you this last time. I can call it like this: for later in str1, right? Well, let me take one variable over here, which is my counter variable. Count is equal to 0. For later in str1, if later is equal to char1, right? What we have to do? We have to increment count by 1. Count is equal to count plus 1, right? This is shorthand operator. We have already seen this, so this is just a revision of that. So we are revising 3 concepts over here. We are taking input output. We are using for loop as well, and we are using conditional statement, right? And once we are done with this, right? Let us just print it. Print occurrence of letter. Let me show you one more thing with string, right? As we are studying string, I told you in the first lecture that I'll show you another way to print the string formats, right? So occurrence of letter so and so is so and so. Now I'm creating empty brackets over here, right? And there is a function on string called as format, right? Now what this brackets will do, so here we have to supply our variable names, right? So what is our variable name? So first variable name is occurrence of letter, so that is character 1, and we are going to say count, right? Now understand this how it works. Let me just run this code first, and then I'll show how this works, right? So let me say sample 234, right? And I'm running this code. And what was my string? It was hello. So let me say L, right? And it says occurrence of letter L is 2. Now understand this. What are the meaning of these 2 brackets? So actually, as positional arguments. So it will start like this: 0 and 1, right? 0 will be mapped with character 1, and 1 will be mapped with count, right? Now if I make it 1 0, see this over here. If I make it 1 0, the sequence is going to change, right? Occurrence of letter and 1 will map with count. Understand this. So how it will come? Occurrence of letter 2 is L, something like this will come, right? So occurrence of letter L 2 is L, right? See this. So this is not the correct output we wanted, right? So you can change the position with this curly brackets. Understand this. And if it is in sequence, you can keep it empty as well. So I know now this is in sequence.
that I want to print it like this also, occurrence of letter L is 2, you can make it like this also. So this is how format function will work on string, and this is used for printing a string with different positional arguments. See this, these are mapped with positions, right? And you can have many more. Like occurrence of letter L is 2 and another character. Let me make it this, right? And I'm doing what over here? I'm taking 2 characters as an input. Character 2. Let me make it character 2 over here. And let me take one more variable over here. Count 1 is equal to 0. Right? And what you will be doing over here, if LPR is equal to character 2. Do nothing. Count plus equals to 1. There should be count 1, right? Now understand this, how many positional arguments are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 curly brackets are there. So here also there should be 4 curly brackets. I'll say char 2 over here, and here I'll be saying count 1. Understand this. How this will get mapped? Character 1 will be mapped with this first empty bracket, count will be mapped with this empty bracket, character 2 third empty bracket, and count 1 fourth empty bracket, right? So let me run this code, right? I want to search L as well as I want to search H, right? It says occurrence of letter L is 2 and H is 1, right? Understand this. This variables are getting mapped with curly brackets. But let us say I want to print H first and L later on. So how I'll do that? So H is character 2. Understand this. H was character 2. So it is mapped with which index? So 0, 1, 2. Character 2 is, okay, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, right? So character 2 is what? 2, right? Associated count is index number 3. This will be 0 and this will be 1. Now the printing will be in reverse, right? Again, let me say L and H, right? But now see this, occurrence of letter H is 1 and L is 2. The sequence has changed, right? So this is how it gets mapped with position, and formats are used so many times to specify the printing format, right? And in many of the programs you will see the sequence, so I'm making it very clear with you, right? Hope this is clear too. Any doubt in this particular thing? If you have doubt, you can let me know. Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. No doubt. Thank you.
No doubt. Okay, great. Okay, so let us move to the now. Understand this, why this is important. To find the occurrence of a particular string, we have to write this many lines of code, right? We have written this code, right? But counts does the same thing. str1 is equal to hello, right? And I can say str1 dot count into the bracket L. Okay, so count does the same thing with ease. You don't have to worry about what is the implementation of this part. Now this is called as kind of abstraction, right? Abstraction is what? Hiding the implementation details from the user, right? So we don't know how this count method is implemented on string objects, but it is working, right? And understand this program was giving us count for the single character. Here the count method can give you count for substring also, right? How many times the substring is occurring? Let us say LL, right? So understand this. This is making your life very easy, programmer's life very easy, right? So this is one method. Say for example, we want to work on another method. Let us call it as after doing count, let me call it as find, right? So what is the find method? Find method is used to find the index of a particular character or a particular substring. So let me say, what is the index of H, right? So it says index of H is 0, right? Let me say str1 dot find again, right? And let me say what is the index of O, right? Now index of O is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, not str2, it should be str1. Sorry for that mistake. Right, it says 4, right? Now understand this, when you use this find method, it will always give you index in positive manner only. It will never return negative indexes. I can find the index of the substring also. So I can say str1 dot find into the bracket what is the index of el substring. So it will give you the first index of the letter. So what is the index of e? It will be written. So index of e is 1 because index starts with 0. Understand this, right? Now understand this. Say for example, a letter or a substring is not present in the string, right? What you will be doing with it? So let me say I'm calling it with z. Z is not present in the string, right? It is returning -1. Understand this, when find returns -1, it is not negative index. It says that substring is not present in the string. -1 is not negative index with find. So that's why I've given you very specific example. When you use find, it is not negative index. It is just saying that substring is not present in the string. Now similar to that, you can use a function called as rfind. So rfind is nothing but same as find, but it will look for the index from reverse. So I'm saying str1 dot rfind el, right? It is saying me 1. Why it is saying me 1? So understand this. It is starting from reverse, but from which index el is found? So it is found at index number 1, right? So it is saying me 1. So rfind is finding the index in reverse. It is same as find, so people generally don't use it. People always prefer find, but this is there in Python, so that's why I'm giving you the example. Now similar to find, there is one more method called as index.
सर आर फाइंड में क्या होगा?
रिवर्स, चलो मैं आपको एक और एग्जांपल दिखाता हूँ. str1 dot rfind.
उसने सेम रिजल्ट दिया ना इसलिए.
Yes, let me call as le. Okay, see this, it is going to be -1. ठीक है, एल दे रहा हूँ तो मैं मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? -1 मिल रहा है, राइट? ओके, चलो मैं एक और एग्जांपल दिखाता हूँ. दिस विल बी अ गुड एग्जांपल टू एक्सप्लेन इट. EANANA. Okay, now let me call this find, and then see the difference. I'm making it over here, NA and str1 dot rfind NA. So rfind is doing nothing, but it will send the string from reverse. So see the find. When I call it find, B, A, and A. So what is the occurrence of NA? This is over here, 0, 1, and 2. So the index is given, which is 2, right? Now rfind will start from reverse, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it will starting from reverse. And when NA is found at the index number, what is the first occurrence of NA in reverse? It is at index number 4. So that is how it is giving index number 4. That is the difference. Are you getting it, Devangini madam?
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, so it rfind scans the string in reverse when there is multiple occurrence of same string. Say for example, NA is occurring twice, so it is obviously going to give you first occurrence of that substring where the first occurrence is present. So from reverse, where first occurrence of NA comes at index number 4, so it is giving you index number 4. Hope it is clear to you.
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Okay. Now another method is index. So I'm working with this banana example only. So index is nothing similar to find only, right? But I'll tell you the difference between these two. So again, I'm saying NA, right? So it gives me 2. So same as find, there is no as such difference, right? But understand this, when I use find, and if particular letter is not present, as I've already told you, it is giving me -1. But with index, this is something different. When I use index and if particular letter or substring is not present, index is going to give me an error. Understand this, right? So exception is thrown and you have to handle that exception once you use, right? So the difference between these two is find gives you -1 when the substring is not found. Index gives you error. Understand this. This is the difference between these two. And similar to index, there is another method called as R-index, which scans the string from reverse, right? So there are 4 methods which we have covered: find, rfind, index, and R-index, right? Now let us move to the next important particular method, which is called a split, right? So let me take very simple example of this, right? Let me go to the example only. Okay, understand this, how we can solve this. str1, I can say it like this: from giving you this example, very simple example, from my email ID at let us say 3 o'clock. Okay, fine enough. So I'm looking for 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. Subject was Python. So I don't have to Python. Two participants. Right, this is my string. Now, and understand this, what I want to do is I want to extract this paruluniversity.ac.in. Getting it? I want to extract paruluniversity.ac.in. Understand this, how I can extract it, right? So one method to do so is I can say str1 dot find. Now understand this, where this paruluniversity.ac.in is present after @ this is known as domain name, right? And always domain names are present after @, right? So this will work for any of the email ID. So I can say find @. Very simple in the string, right? I got that @ is present at index number 70, right? Now let me store it at position. Let me call it as position. So I can call it like this: str1 dot find, and let me call it as @. Okay, let me call it as post. So post is 17, right? Now to extract email ID from this kind of sequence, I can say that to extract domain name from this kind of sequence, I can say that it is separated by space, right? So I have to extract the letters which is present between @ and space after @. Yes or no? Understand this. So how I'll do that? Say that. So again, I'll say @post, right? As @post is equal to str1 dot find, very specific. I'm looking for a space, so quotes, space, and the quotes, and I'll say post. So after post, right? You look it after post, right? And it's working absolutely fine. Let me call it post, right? And it is giving me 39. So this is near about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and another 5, 21. So it's near about 39. Understand this, right? This @post is giving you near about 39. Now what you can do is you can slice. So how you can slice? So you can say str1, right? I want to extract post +1, because @ was post, right? So I want post +1, and I want letters up to @post, right? And it gives me paruluniversity.ac.in, right? So this is how you can extract, domain name from the email list, and we'll be working on this program later on. I'll be giving you a domain name counting program in the exercise sessions, and you have to work it like this, right? Now, this is one way to solve this problem. There are multiple ways to do so, right? Let us work on another method and let us make it easy, because you have to remember so many things over here. You have to remember index of @. You have to remember index of position after @, right? So you have to remember position of space after @. So you have to work on
Sir,
this.
kindly repeat the @post part.
@post part. Okay, fine. Understand is this how find works. So we have seen find with a particular character only over here, right? But what this post is saying, so look for a white space after post. So what is post? 17. So look for a white space after this particular at the rate. Understand this. After this particular at the rate, look for a white space. So where is the white space? Because if I don't specify post, what will be the first index of white space over here? Can you see this? After from. So we don't want to extract this. We want to extract white space after at the rate, right? So at the rate was found at position number 17, right? And we are looking for the white space after at the rate, which is at position number 39. We know it manually, but how program will know it? So we are specifying two arguments in function. First argument, the character which we want to find, which is space, and after which index? After post index, so after index number 70, right? This is something like this. Understand this. Again, if I say str1 is equal to, let us say EA, or let me make it str2, so there is no confusion. EA and ANA, right? See this, and how this works. So I can call it like this: str2 dot find and look for a sequence called as NA, right? Look for a sequence called as NA, right? That is giving you 2, but now see this, I'm calling it one more time, str2.find for a sequence called as NA, but after index number 3. So what is index number 3? This is 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So after index number 3, it is coming at index number 4, right? So it gives me. So this is how it works, right? You can specify two arguments also in find function, right? So we have extracted this paruluniversity.ac.in with slicing also, but we don't want to use slicing, right? So there is another method called as split. So let me just split it, right? So I'm just calling split without anything. So once you specify split without anything, split is nothing but we are chopping the strings, right? जैसे आप सब्जी काटते हो ना, वैसे स्ट्रिंग को काट रहे हो और कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो. कैसे काटोगे? तो जहाँ पे स्पेस आएगा ना, अगर आपने स्प्लिट के आर्गुमेंट में कुछ भी स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया है, जहाँ पे भी स्पेस आएगा वहां से वो कट डाउन हो जाएगा. और रिटर्न क्या करेगा? लिस्ट रिटर्न करेगा. देख, ठीक है. पहला कहाँ पे आया था? फ्रॉम के बाद, तो वहां से एक कट हो गया. दूसरा स्पेस क्या कहाँ से आया था? इन के बाद, तो वहां से एक कट हो गया. ठीक है. और लिस्ट का एलिमेंट बन रहा है वो देखो. तीसरा कहाँ था? चौथा कहाँ था? 3 के बाद. तो हर स्पेस के बाद वो स्प्लिट हो रहा है, कट हो रहा है. ठीक है. अब इससे हमें क्या करना है? सो आई वांट टू एक्सट्रैक्ट डोमेन नेम फ्रॉम दिस. नाउ यू नो द इंडेक्सिंग, राइट? ये कौन से इंडेक्स पे है? फ्रॉम 0 पे. तो ये पूरा ईमेल आईडी कौन से इंडेक्स पे होगा? इंडेक्स नंबर 1, right? So I can call it like this also. Email is equal to str1.speed, which is going to give me list, और उसमें से इंडेक्स नंबर क्या चाहिए मुझे? 1 चाहिए. हम तो यहाँ, राइट? अब ईमेल को प्रिंट करो. ईमेल क्या आ रहा है? So it is giving me you have rutvik.mehta@paruluniversity.ac.in. बट मुझे तो किस में इंटरेस्ट था? आई वॉज इंटरेस्टेड इन डोमेन नेम ओनली, राइट? सो ईमेल इज अनदर स्ट्रिंग. आई कैन अप्लाई स्प्लिट ऑन दैट ऑल्सो. सो आई कैन से स्प्लिट, राइट? एंड splitting based on, now I want to separate this two, rutvik.mehta and paruluniversity.ac.in. So instead of space, there is no space in between. I can specify at the rate. तो split में अब मैंने argument specify किया है. देखो यहाँ, right? When I press enter, it gives me rutvik.mehta, and on the another end, it is giving me paruluniversity.ac.in. Now I'm interested in paruluniversity.ac.in, right? So I can call it like this. Domain is equal to email.split, and what is my split criteria? Split criteria is at the rate, and extract the second element, which is at index number 1. अब देवांगिनी मैडम, मैं आपके इस पॉइंट पे आऊंगा कि what is the purpose of negative index. So I always know that domain name is at the end, last index पे ही है. So instead of making it 1, can I make it -1? Yes, I can do that. It is on.
Yes.
Here, if I print domain, see that it is paruluniversity.ac.in. Are you getting it? So this at the in technical terms is known as delimiter. by default delimiter, if you don't specify anything, by default delimiter is space. But if you don't want to keep it space, you can specify your own delimiter. Here we have specified our own delimiter at the rate, right? And once string will recover at the rate, the chopping will happen. So let us see the last example, and later on we'll discuss about more example tomorrow, right? So I'm taking one more example over here. Hello at the rate world at the rate python at the rate, right? And I'm saying over here str2 dot split. If I press enter, see there's nothing will happen because there is no space in between, right? पूरा string एक list की तरह आ रहा है, पूरा string समझ में आ रहा है, because there is no space in between, right? Now I can call it like this also, str2 dot split based on at the rate. देखिए क्या आ रहा है, जहाँ एट द रेट आ रहा है वहां से कट होगा, चॉप होगा, ठीक है? तो हेलो अलग आ रहा है, वर्ल्ड अलग आ रहा है, पाइथन अलग आ रहा है, स्ट्रिंग अलग आ रहा है, ठीक है? अब इसमें एक और भी चीज है, str dot split and this is how it is working, at the rate comma 2. now what is this 2? when I press enter, see this splitting कितने बार हुआ? सिर्फ 2 बार हुआ, समझो? हेलो और वर्ल्ड जैसे 2 एलिमेंट मुझे मिले, वो आगे स्प्लिटिंग नहीं करेगा, तो एक स्प्लिटिंग यहाँ पे हुआ, दूसरा स्प्लिटिंग यहाँ पे हुआ। जैसे ही मैंने अकरेंस का काउंट अचीव कर लिया, 2 मिल गया मुझे, तो आगे स्प्लिटिंग नहीं करेगा। तो पाइथन एट द रेट स्ट्रिंग एज इट इज आ रहा है, देखो, ठीक है? अगर मैं एक बार करता तो आंसर क्या होता है, कोई मुझे बता सकता है? इफ आई कॉल इट लाइक दिस, str1 डॉट स्प्लिट एट द रेट कॉमा 1, इसका आंसर क्या होगा बताइए?
Hello,
Hello. Hello.
हेलो एंड
word at the rate python at the rate string.
correct, right? Hello will be a separate element. Oh, this was str2, sorry. str2 dot split at the rate comma 1. The answer is simple, hello, and then world at the rate python at the rate string will be considered as whole element, considered as combined element of at the rate. There won't be any splitting after one occurrence, right? To understand this, this is how split will work. There are many more methods that we are going to discuss tomorrow on string, because string is a larger part and we are left with many important methods that we need to cover tomorrow, right? But because of time restriction, we are ending it over here. Okay, any doubt in split and index? Any doubt in this? No. Okay, fine.
No, sir.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, nice. So we can cover many more examples tomorrow with string, and then we'll move to list. Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining with us and taking the very interactive part in learning this Python session. So that's all for the today's session, and we'll be again getting connected tomorrow at the same time and on the same link. Thank you. And meanwhile, if you have missed out anything, you may watch the YouTube links. Thank you.
And I'll request everyone to subscribe the YouTube channel. Okay, thank you so much.